So what I have here is a non-traditional table, and by that I mean that we've got kind of an issue here with some merged cells here that are occupying 3 cells here. The other issue that makes this a non-traditional table in the sense is we have blank columns, we have blank rows, and yes, I know we could delete those, but we're going to be in a position where we, let's say, export into Excel frequently, and we just want to save the time and get right to the values that we are looking for our reporting needs. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to teach you how to do the index function with the match formula. Okay. Now, first of all, the index function can go down and to the right based on what you tell it to look for. Okay. So to begin, I'm going to select the numbers here and come up to the name box and give it a range. So I'll just call it data range. Simple as that, and I'm going to hit enter here. Okay. I'm also going to need to select the items here on the side. I'll just call that month range. When you create a range name, no spaces. And lastly, these are our IDs that we're going to look at. I'm going to select that and come up here and call it ID range. Okay. So what is the index function specifically? If we were to go to the Formulas tab and find it under Lookup and Reference, we would see that the index returns a reference. Oh, that's index, here we go. Returns a value or a reference of a cell, a particular intersection of a particular row and column in a given range. Okay, so here's my data range, and I'm going to have it go down relatively to finding the month and to the right when it finds the IDs above. Okay. Match. What is match? Well, match is a formula that will always return a number. Okay, it returns a relative position of an item, an integer. It's going to tell us is it first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and within a particular order. Okay. All right, so let's get started here. Let's say I want to get a list of these IDs here. I'm going to copy that and show you a nice little trick how I can do that. I'm going to transpose, right click, there's a transpose pop up there. I'm going to select the clear button to clear the formats, which allows me now to keep them highlighted and select using go to special the blanks. I click on the blanks here. I'm able to select just the blanks, and then inside of that I can right click and do a delete with shifting the cells up. Pretty cool, especially if you have lots of things that you're looking to grab there. All right, now that I have that, I'm going to create the month header, and underneath of that, the revenue, and to the right, expenses. Here we go. So I'm going to start off and do equals index. Okay, it'll be asking me for 2 types of indexes. The first one is appropriate. Okay, and we would like to use our Formulas tab above and insert the data range, where it's coming from. Okay, I'm going to type a comma. And now it's asking me for what row number do I want. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. Right now I'm just going to hard code it and type 1, because this is the first row, comma. Now it's looking for the commas, or the columns, and I'm going to do a 1 on the side here. Okay, let's look at that. And so if my data range, my value that I'm going to return back is 101,406, because of their data range, it's the first row, first column. Okay. All right. Now let's just imagine we were trying to pull up June. Okay. Let's just imagine that's what we're looking for. In order to create that, and this is pretty tedious here, I would have to say, well, how far down does June go? So including the blanks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, and it's still going to be the first column. So you can see 147.80 coming on down here, then the 11th row here. Okay, so, but that's not good because we want to be able to type the month in the column value up here and change that. So instead of having these hard-coded values, we need to replace the rows and the columns with the match function. All right, here's how the match function works. The match function is going to be nested in here. It's always going to look for a value. So I'm going to be looking up, again, the month. So I'll use U8 there, comma. Where am I going to find it? In the month range. That's my range name I created earlier. And my lookup value is going to be an exact match, so I can just put a 0 in there. Okay, so that will satisfy going down relatively based on what's typed in that cell above. Right now we have January. Now I need to know how far over to the right do we need to go. So same thing, match using the ID to the side here. Okay, comma. Where am I going to find it? I'm going to find it in the ID range, which is right here. It will stop at the first time it sees it, and how many far it goes over, since these are merged cells, will stop at the first top left cell of that. So comma 0 to do an exact match. Now I need to just close out my parentheses. One more to close out the index formula. I think I have it. Yes, okay, so 101,000, if I copy this down, I must, I know what I did. I didn't absolute reference that January there. So I'm gonna just go make a quick click on side UF right here. I need a $sign in front of the 8 to hold down the 8th row. Okay, let's do that again. There we go. So it seems to be holding, but let's just verify. 11,000, does that match? 113,000, I mean, 54, that matches, okay. That is awesome, okay. And then here comes a test. Let's change this to May. And May, boom, right on the money there. And what's really powerful is if I were to remove a certain row here, let's say I go in here and delete that, shift cells up. Because we use the match function, it now is counting down to this particular row intersection. And it's all relative based on the match, where if we would have hard-coded it, and the same thing is true if we ever insert blank rows, it will match it up, as long as we do it within our data range field that we have here. Okay, so that's pretty awesome. Now, I'm gonna do expenses here and show you a nice little trick. So if I were to copy all of that, paste it underneath the expenses, I just need to go in, and the expenses is the third column once it finds it. So it's going to find it right above. So if I were just to do +2, right? Because it will stop, and we want it to go further 2 more for that. Okay, so let's take a look at that guy, 41,424 for May. Right there it is. That is the same as that. So we're on track here. Very powerful, meaning that once I change this, I'll go back to January, is all should change to reflect those numbers above it. Okay, so you learned how to use the index function with the match, and that is a powerful combination to go after and find any item within a specific data set going down or to the right and or both. If you'd like to see more tips and tricks for Excel and QuickBooks, I've got a blog where you can find more tips and tricks at sequentialsolutions.com/blog.